John Kerry has a new climate target: farmers. Ashley, I know all about this story, but why don't you explain it to our viewers?
I'll try. Our fearless climate czar, who jets around the world, by the way, in his private aircraft, taking aim now at farmers because they're polluting the environment, he says. Mr. Kerry claims agriculture production creates 33% of the world's total greenhouse gas emissions, and the fight against climate change cannot be tackled without addressing what the farmers are doing. In fact, Kerry is refusing to call it climate change anymore. He says it's climate crisis. And Kerry says emissions from the food system alone are projected to cause another 0.5 degree of warming by the year 2050. The former Secretary of State says lives depend on world leaders and scientists developing the tools necessary to lower agriculture emissions. It's all about the cows.
One of the things, that you see when you fight, at this level, trying to protect freedom, is they can't get financial control unless they can control the food supply. Because people can always start their own currencies as long as they can grow food and they have animal protein. And so if you look at the push for financial control, and CBDCs or things like CBDCs, it's the same push. They're pushing to control the food supply. And there's an absolute, if you look at sort of the operations they do and the lies they tell to get that central control, a lot of it is to excuse and justify the things they're doing to get control of the food supply. So you and I discussed PharmaFood.
Yes.
Which we published before, Dutch Farmers and Fishermen. So this is an entire study on synthetic food, including lab-grown meat and insect-based flour. Bioengineered. It's basically the pharmaceutical industry taking over the food supply. So the idea is we get rid of farmers, we kill any naturally grown food, and we engineer food in manufacturing plants and laboratories. Here's what you need to understand. One of the reasons I'm working and I'm so committed to preventing financial transaction control is what they are planning on to feed you synthetic lab-grown meat. No one in their right mind would ever eat this stuff. But the reality is what they're hoping is that once they have control of your transactions, they can dictate your health policies and they can dictate what food you can and cannot buy. So if they don't want you buying pizza, you can't buy pizza. If they want you to buy pizza made with insect-based flour, that's what you're going to get. That's one of the reasons they want this kind of control. And remember, you had John Kerry saying, we ought to get rid of all the farmers. They're literally planning on getting rid of all the farmers and instituting, food created synthetically in manufacturing laboratories. You have to read it. And one of the reasons you have to read it is the reason to stop them from putting your farmers and fishermen out of business and pushing them off their land is if they succeed in doing that, you and I will be eating lab-grown meat. That's their plan.
Shalom.